Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is January 28th, 2022. It is a gray day outside, so hopefully my lighting is okay. But it's gray, hasn't snowed like all week, so that's been good. Hopefully that will stay. And I am again alone at home on a typical Friday, so that is great for recording. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada. I live with my husband and my two kids who are 11 and 10. Today for you, I have finished objects, works in progress, stash, events, and some chatter. Let's get started with finished objects. Last week, I was lamenting the fact that I just kept on casting on project after project after project. So I decided to pick my closest finished object and to really work on it and focus on it. So I did that, and I have finished my Millie Margaret shawl. Ta-da! It is not blocked. I have woven in all the ends. You will see some sticking out a little bit. I like to leave a little bit sticking out for when I block it so that the ends kind of get in nicely and don't fall out. So once this is blocked, obviously this will be a lot bigger. This kind of ribbing section is sucking in a bit. I did not end like I thought I would. I don't know if it's longer or I don't know what happened, but there we go. We've got a little tip of blue on the end. So my yarn management didn't happen, but there we go. It seems the same length, so maybe I started at a different spot. I thought I measured it, but whatever, it's fine. I will still love it and wear it, and I'm very, very happy with it. So there it is in all its glory. So the garter stitch sections just really flew by because you just knit back and forth, decrease every so often, and if you miss one, you just do it next time. Like, it's super straightforward, super easy. So there you go. I would definitely recommend this pattern, and I know a little girl in my house who has already asked to steal it, so we will see. But I am going to block it this weekend, and I'm going to do a wet block on it and then pin it out. I have some blocking mats, and I'll pin it out so that it creates a nice shape that I want. And then once it dries, which hopefully is pretty quick, then I'll be able to wear it. So it's very exciting. I should probably give you the details about this pattern and stuff. So this is the Millie Margaret shawl by Jennifer Lassonde from the Down Cellar Studio. And the yarn is, so the striping one is Knit Picks Felici in the Slumber Party colorway. And then the center panel is some of the Knit Picks Stroll in the Vibrant Violet. So it's very bright, but yeah, and probably I will wear it with this as like the center panel, more scarf-like with the ends wrapped around. So it will stretch out a bit once it's blocked, but something like that. So you see this lovely center panel, and then you just get these kind of pops of the extra color. So super fun. That's it for finished objects. Moving on to works in progress. My first work in progress is the throwing it back. So this is your spoiler warning for this mystery knit along. If you don't want to see it, I have not finished clue 4, and I know that clue 5 is coming out tomorrow, so I have some catching up to do. But I really wanted to get my Millie Margaret shawl done. I've been feeling a bit like I just want to cast on all the things, and so it feels nice to get something done. But I really do want to work on this one. So I showed you, this is clue 1, and then 2, and then 3. And then clue 4 had you start another of the lace panels, but this one goes the opposite direction. It's hard to see because it just keeps curling, but it is the same kind of ribbing lace. So I've got to do one more section, one more repeat of this, and then there's a whole new section that I have to do. So that I will be working on this weekend when I've got some downtime. This pattern is the Throwing It Back by Cozy Up Knits, and this is a mystery knit along. They do a mystery knit along every January, and yeah, it's super exciting. So that is that, and the yarn is from Ginger Snap. She's on Etsy, and that's her Squishy DK. And I've still got one whole ball of the gray. So that's the main color. And then I've got the three contrast colors. So, and I don't have any DK weight shawls, so I am super excited for this. It is gonna be huge, but that is cool because then you can wrap it around multiple times and really get a good, nice, squishy one. And with all the different stitch patterns, it's gonna be nice to kind of like arrange it different ways, and then it will look different because there'll be different stitch patterns. So. And, you know, gray and teal, it's kind of up my alley. Really enjoy that. So, yeah, I think that's it for the Throwing It Back. And we'll move on to the Dust of Snow. So I have worked some on this because I am finding it it's a repetitive pattern, so I can work on it, you know, not looking at the pattern the whole time. So I have finished adding color 4 at the top here with these speckles of orange and hot pink. So that is super cool. Again, this is going to be very large. I added extra repeats across, so it's going to be a very large piece, but I am super excited about it. So yeah, so we have day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Quite a bit left of each, so that is awesome. The Dust of Snow pattern is by Helen Stewart, and she has lots of patterns that are good for Advent yarns or scraps or whatever in her Knit Vent collections that she does every year. And the yarn is from Ginger Snap That, and it was her 2021 Advent. And if you watched Vlogmas, then you would have seen me opening this yarn every day. So, and it is a fade, so I'm super excited to see them all come together. So there is that. Next up, we have some socks. This is also Advent yarn. This is yarn from the Cozy Knitter, and she does an Advent stripe. So it's 24 different stripes. The idea is that you knit one stripe on each sock during the month of December, and by Christmas you have a pair of socks. I knit mine, if you've watched previous episodes, in December, and I had a whole repeat left, so I'm making a pair for my husband. I'm using a Knit Pick Stroll in the pine colorway for the toes, heel, and however tall he wants the cuff. And I do a 3x1 ribbing on the top of the foot, and then 3x1 ribbing all the way up the leg. And the pattern, I'm almost finished the heel, I'm just doing the decreases now, is Vanilla Reversed by Annie Fletcher. And I talk about this one a lot because he likes this pattern, he likes how it fits. He really likes the 3x1 ribbing, and it is much slower for me to knit because I have to pay attention, and counting to 3 can be difficult sometimes. But he really likes how these fit, and I measured them against his other socks. They seem like they're the right size, even though they look gigantic to me. And yeah, so I really like the striping because it just seems like as soon as you're like, oh, this color, oh, there's the next color, and then you knit, oh, there's the next color. So, and they're all different. So it'll be a lot of green at the top because he likes his socks very tall. So, but there is that. So I've been working away on that one. And then once that one's done, I'll have to do the other one. Normally I do knit his socks 2 at a time. But I just kind of started the toe and started going, and then I was like, oh, I'll get the other one cast on, and then I never did, and so now I'm just going on that one. The next two projects that are on my list, I have not worked on, not touched it at all. So that's my star shower and my market bag. So I'm not even going to show you, they're somewhere else. I don't know, haven't worked on them at all. So, but I do have one more project to show you. And yes, I have cast on one more project. So one of my goals for this year is to participate in the Year of Gnomes by Imagine Landscapes, which means you knit a gnome every month, and then in December you have 12, and it's super fun. So that is my plan. I picked out some Knit Picks Stroll, and I have the Holly Berry color, which is really dark red, ash and white, and then I will use the pine color, which is in here, other bag, if I need a fourth color. So there are those, or if I want to switch it up. So some of the gnomes that I'm doing only require 3 colors, some of them 4, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. And I think those are nice kind of Christmassy colors. And so far, I have a tiny little hat. That's all I got so far. But, you know, it takes time to pay attention to what's happening and make sure I'm increasing at the right spots. I did do an extra little bit of I-cord on the top, and I'm gonna make it into like a little curly bit. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I started that this week, and I mean, it's the 28th today, so I've kind of got to get on this and finish this because I want to make one every month, and it's almost the end of January. But I don't know why it took me so long to get this started, but mostly it was just I needed to go into my yarn cabinet and pull out the yarn that I knew I wanted to use. So, you know, it's good to have a very good curated stash, but sometimes when there's lots of yarn, it's overwhelming to go in there and pull out the things that you want. So anyway, I found all the yarn that I wanted. I do need a project bag for it. I'll have to dig one out and cast on the hat, and should be pretty straightforward to kind of just keep going on this guy. And I have the stuffing, and I have some little pellets for the bottom so they stand up, and it's going to be great. But that's all I have so far. Let's talk about the pattern. The pattern is Never Not Gnoming by Sarah, I don't know how to say her last name, of Imagine Landscapes. We're just gonna say that. I'm sure she says it on her podcast. You should listen to them too. Her and her sister have an audio podcast, and sometimes they do YouTube lives and stuff. But yeah, she has lots of gnome patterns. I've decided I'm going to use the Never Not Gnoming pattern for all of the gnomes for the year. So they're all going to be that same style. Within that one pattern, there are quite a few different ones. There's big ones and small ones. And anyway, so I'm doing the large one right now, so we'll see how that goes, and if I like it, then I may do more. We'll just make a whole little collection and stuff, so it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. And I think that is it for works in progress. There's still lots of stuff spinning in my head that I want to cast on, but for right now, that's it for works in progress, and we'll move on to stash. For stash this week, I received 2 different packages of yarn. The first one I received is the yarn that was missing from my Yarn Canada order, so that's awesome. Got the 5 extra skeins that didn't come with the original package that I did order, and they are the same die lot number, so score for me. And that is for Taylor's birthday sweater, which her birthday's not till November, so I've still got time. It's worsted weight, kid's sweater, shouldn't take that long to knit, but I got the rest of the yarn for that, so now I really feel like I need to buckle down and get started on that. The other yarn that I received is some beautiful yarn from my friend Erin at Fireweed Fiber Co. So I was gifted by my husband the monthly subscriptions. She's doing a Star Trek theme subscription, so you get one skein of sock yarn. I got the sock yarn that comes, and it comes with a mini skein to go with it. And yeah, January is beautiful. But first, I thought while I was ordering that and shipping and all that, I might as well get some of the other skeins that I was really interested in seeing in person and maybe doing something with. So this is the first one. This is her sweet pea sock, and this is called Tea Time. Can I take this off? No, it's quite tight, but it's got all these lovely speckles in it, and there's like mauve and light pinks, and it's just beautiful. Also, tea, it's kind of my thing, so you know, the name does it for me too. But yeah, so her sweet pea sock is an 80 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it is a 2-ply yarn. So this is 100 grams. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but there it is. It's beautiful, and I'm going to do something magical with it. Maybe I'll have to find something else to pair it with. Maybe a hat. I don't know. We'll see. And while I was on the website, a couple of skeins caught my eye. So she does one of a kind sometimes, maybe if she's just playing around with different stuff, or if something didn't turn out quite right, she just lists them as like a one-off kind of thing. And I saw these two. They're both on her sparkling sock, which is a 90% superwash merino and 10% luxure. Lurex? I don't know. The sparkle. It's sparkly. So these are both one of a kinds, but I thought they're very similar. They could totally go together in something. I'm thinking some sort of shawl, cowl, I don't know. There was a dragon scale shawl that looked really cool, which I think would look super awesome in these colors. So yeah. These are both 100 grams as well each, so I have 200 grams of them. So, oh, and now I'm holding her logo upside down. Anyway, so there's like purples and royal blue and kind of some hot pink, and it's all overwashed by that gray. And the gray is variegated too. There's like some lighter bits and darker bits, and lovely, lovely stuff. Okay, so I think everyone has probably received the January Club by now, but in case you haven't, this is your warning. I'm going to show her January Club if you don't want to see it. I'm sure everybody wants to see it because it's amazing. Seriously, look at that. So this is on her sweet pea sock, and it is a sock set. So you get the 100 gram mini, or 100 gram skein, and a 20 gram mini. The name of this is the Celestial Temple, which is the January Club color. So, but like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can find her inspiration picture for this, but it just is amazing. Like, how does she get the colors so, like, there's green and blue and pink and yellow, and they're not muddied at all. Like, they're just amazing. So I think I'm definitely gonna make socks out of this. I think I definitely have to make socks out of this. Wouldn't it be cool to have 12 pairs of socks made out of her yarn? You'd have a set of socks. Anyway, I have no idea when I'm going to cast that on, but there it is. It's beautiful. You should definitely check her out. Fireweed Fiber Co. And I think that's her website. Yeah, fireweedfiberco.com. Yeah, and she's Canadian, so it's like a win-win-win. I also have the February and the March, but you're gonna have to wait till next week to see the February. So And then a month from now, you'll see the March. So I'm not going to open them until that time, which is very exciting because, yarn is amazing. Actually, I probably won't show you the February one next week because she doesn't send them out till the 10th of the month. So it'll be a few weeks before you see the February one. Thinking out loud here, people. Thinking out loud. So that's it for stash, and we're moving on to events. For events, I have all the same events that I talked about last week, but in case you want to hear them again, here they are. So I am participating in the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party, and that is coming to a close fairly quickly here, but you can still participate. All you have to do is enter your projects on the Downseller Studio website. There's a link to how to enter your projects. I think you have to register first, but it's not too late to register. You can register up till the end. So, and then and you can join along in the chatter on Ravelry and hashtags on Instagram and all sorts of fun stuff. Next up is the Northern Knits podcast has their 5-year anniversary, Cal, and I'm doing a hinterland sweater, which I haven't started yet, but I do have yarn for. Maybe you'll see that next week. I should swatch first for that one. Anyway, the theme is wood, which is the traditional gift for a 5-year marriage. And doing a podcast together is like a marriage. So that is the theme for the knit along, and I'm enjoying seeing everybody else's projects that they're working on, and it's super fun. Next up is the Yarniacs podcast has the self-indulgent knit along. And that is something that you're knitting, that you really enjoy the knitting, and that you're really going to, it's something luxurious for yourself. So that's the kind of idea there. It started on December 21st and it ends on March 21st. So still lots of time to participate in that. And I'm doing my Star Shower cowl, which I have not worked on at all, for that knit along. And lastly, we have Imagine Landscapes. There are 2 knit alongs that I'm participating in. The Year of Gnomes, which I talked about in WIPs because gnomes are amazing. And then they also have the Imagine Knitting Cowl. And this is, I'm also putting the Star Shower in this one because I've been picturing this item and picturing wearing this item for a long time. And now it's finally happening. So I'm going to enter it in that one too. And I hope you join all those fun knit alongs. And I mean, not doing the throwing it back mystery knit along. So lots of knit alongs happening, lots of things happening, but none of it is stressful. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's all happy. So that is it for events, and we'll move on to chatter. Lastly, for chatter, I don't have much to talk about this week. We went skiing last weekend, which was really nice. It was very mild, but cold enough that the snow was still good. There wasn't any new snow, but it was good snow. It wasn't too busy. We didn't stay the whole day. We stayed just about till after lunch and ate our lunch in the truck on the way home. And I will put a couple pictures in at the end of the view from up there. It was just beautiful. We were above the clouds and it was lovely. It did get a bit windy, as it does, later into the morning, usually does. So it was fine though. It wasn't bad. And what else? Oh, the kids played D&D every Monday night, and this week Mike had a meeting to attend, so I got to sit with the kids while they played D&D, and it was really fun. It's a really fun story that they're doing. It's a storyline that I have done before, so I know some of the NPCs and stuff like that, but to see how they're handling the situation differently than how my group handled the situation is just super fun, and they're really enjoying it. So, and along those lines, we ordered some new books for, what are they called? young adventurers guides or something like that, and they're all the information from the player's handbook, but are in smaller books with different pictures and kind of slightly different wording for the descriptions, so they're much more friendly for younger people. So the kids are devouring those books this week. And I think that is about it for the chatter, and I'm gonna call it a day. So I hope to see you guys again next week, and have a great week, and I hope you enjoy all of your knitting and crafting. Bye!